So I was asked about the blue check thing on X, and if I get verified, does that mean I'm a real boy now? Yo, what up, everyone? Good morning. It's your guy, JR, and we are in a very, very tight schedule today because I got to bounce up out of here as soon as the show's over. But as you guys come in, as you pour in, thank you for tuning into the show. This is the TSA Hoop Show. I am your host, JR. If you are not following us already on the Sports Affiliation, please head to the sportsaffiliation.com website where we are featuring all of our fantasy articles, all of our hoops articles, all our football articles, and more. Everything that you see coming from us is centralized there. It is up and running at the sportsaffiliation.com. Also, before we get too deep into it, don't forget to go to drafters.com where you can make your bets. We match up your deposit up to $100. So you just put the code TSA bets. We can match your deposit up to $100 there. Where you can do your daily bets, daily fantasy, any advice that you get from us, especially here at the Hoop Show. You can go ahead and place those odds there. On the Drafter apps and drafters.com. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to get through that real quick because, again, we have now less than an hour. And at 8:30, I'm out, y'all. So anything that we don't get to today. You guys are just going to have to go to the website to get the advice there. If you are seeing this on YouTube, hey, what's up? We're going to jump over there to the chat in a second. Let's see here. Before we get too far in the breakdown of the show, I did want to say big condolences and again big shout out and prayers and blessings to my boy Rico, who's part of the Sports Affiliation. He also does Hoops Off the Backboard show. He is helping his family right now get through a crisis right now with the passing of his nephew. Can't go into any more detail, but us here at TSA Hoops and Extended TSA family and everyone from X all the way on down to everyone out there in the real world, we send our prayers and thoughts to you and your family, Rico. So shout out to you, man. Okay, the show today, my goodness. Well, yes, we took a break last week because, well, it was my 10-year anniversary, and I was going to share my time with my family and my wife, although I love you guys and appreciate you jumping in, appreciate you chiming in, but we had a lot to go through. Okay, so Olympics wrapped up. So we're going through that. WNBA season is back in full effect, and there's conversations going on about there. NBA released its schedule, and that's going to be the main topic of the show today. We have a lot to go through and to chop through, so please bear with me. And whenever you guys are ready to chime in about your favorite team, please let me know. We're going to be sharing that as the show goes on. There's some things out there, some rumors, trade bait still. Don't forget, free agency still in effect. We haven't completely locked down teams as of yet. Training camps have been going, et cetera, et cetera. Some stuff that's been going back and forth on social media. We might have some guests on the show today. Not sure. We'll see if we have time for them. We have what I like to call an open run, which is going to be something that we're going to be featuring in these shows going forward, which will very much include you because you guys know I love hearing from you. I love talking to you guys, the listeners, the watchers, etc. And we got something exciting coming up as far as betting and whatnot with hoops, fantasy, all that combined under TSA. So without further ado, I want to talk real quick towards the end of these shows going forward. We're going to have what's called an open run, which is sort of like a town hall, sort of back and forth discourse between anyone that we invite on, you guys in the comment section, and us. And what it is, it gives you guys the ability to essentially control the show or a topic of conversation that you think is very important for us to address as far as hoops is concerned. We will do our best to address that that topic of conversation. Again, we have no notes on it. We're just going to go back off our memory as best as we can, but it heavily involves you. So if you guys have fantasy questions out there that you need addressed, if you guys have betting questions that you need to address, again, we start at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, which gives y'all a little bit of time to bet on those AM games if you're doing anything as far as like spread bets. You got straight up parlays, anything like that. Absolutely important that you guys make sure to tune into this show and be part of that open run so that way you can put your questions out there so we can address those directly. Okay. We're gonna make sure to and hot takes already saying, yeah, Knicks win the finals. We're actually gonna get to that in a few. Actually important that you guys stick around for the entire show so that way when we feed you this information, when you guys have questions, we're gonna let you know. Okay, so let's get dirty. Okay, so we're 2 weeks removed from the Olympics, and we got the Paralympics coming up, by the way, so you guys make sure that you tune into those. So a little bit of a fallout from the USA winning gold. I have some really big questions for the NBA as far as how these guys took that, because there's so many stories out there. Okay, so first of all, the after effects of not playing Tatum basically for the majority of the important games in the Olympic tournament. What are the consequences of that? I mean, you got the now Finals MVP, the reigning champions, Boston Celtics, coming back and a promising carte blanche fire across the league. And I don't know if Tatum sees that as an opportunity for his get back, but Kerr is in what I would like to say is rebuilding mode. I worry that he is possibly going to get torched this Olympics. This season because of his not playing Tatum. He did come back and say that all right, thank you. Yo, hot takes coming on. Hey guys, give me a second. One up. Let me bring my guy on for a second. Hot take. He's at work. Work was good, my guy. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Just real quick, we're just running through some post-Olympic stuff right now. Talking about Tatum not being played. We kind of addressed this right as the USA won gold, but do you think that Tatum's going to get back this season? Because he wasn't played during that gold medal match, basically.
I mean, listen, Steve Kerr is a great coach. Obviously, there was a reason why he didn't play certain players.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is he a top 5 coach of all time? I don't think so yet. You know what I'm saying? But if he pulls out a couple more championships, he definitely will be in that conversation. So, like I said, there's obviously a reason why he was doing what he was doing, you know, especially, you know, towards the end, you know, in the semifinals and in the final or the gold medal match, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously.
So, you know, so obviously there's a reason for behind all that, you know, and do we know the reason? No, we'll never know the reason.
No,
but
no, we won't, which is not overly important because what I of course is there's a reason to try and play your players to win gold, and then of course you get a couple months in between, so maybe that fire will die down, maybe it doesn't carry over. I mean, Tatum's not really like a get back kind of guy. He is absolutely serious about his hoops. As a Kobe aficionado, I know that he's going to be trying to make the Mamba proud. We did just have Kobe's birthday the other day, so I forgot to say shout out to Black Mamba, you and your family. Much love.
Yesterday was 8/24.
Yeah, and then yesterday was 8/24 Kobe Day. The other Kobe Day. I guess we got the other one in February coming up, 2/24 as well. But yeah, just Team USA, they won gold. They had to do it without certain players. They didn't play Tatum. Kawhi Leonard, we still don't know what the deal is with that. We got some reports saying that it was mutual, that Kawhi didn't get played, that he got pulled. We have some reports saying that Grant and Coach Kerr both saw something and said, oh, he's not healthy enough to play. Of course, that led to the whole thing with Derek White coming on as an alternate. And we got all this stuff with Jaylen Brown not getting selected. It's just all a downhill thing. And just looking at the after effects, I think that some of this stuff is going to end up pouring over into the season. And I'm actually going to address that part as far as Boston is concerned in a little bit. But I just want to get your quick take. Do you think that any of that is going to affect Boston's psyche in the regular season? Or do you think anyone's going to have that in the back of their mind, specifically Jaylen Brown?
Well, to go back to the Kawhi thing right quick before I touch on that subject.
Yeah.
When is Kawhi ever healthy? March till the beginning of the next season.
Facts.
So let's be honest here. He's always hurt for some odd reason, starting in the month of March, maybe April, you know what I'm saying, and never healthy until the next season.
True.
So, but no, I don't think it bothers Tatum. I don't think it bothers Brown. You know, I don't think, that whole Brown, not being in the Olympics, we could go back and forth on that. They had too many alphas. They didn't want another alpha in Brown. They wanted more of a role player with Derek White. Someone to bring up the ball, pass the ball, not take that shot when that shot was needed. But I don't think it affects them. Now, do I think they run it back? Personally, no. I don't think they run it back.
All right. Well, we're actually going to get to the schedule and how they perform in a little bit because we broke down the season, which was sometimes I just think that I'm a masochist. That's what it is. I'm a masochist. Anyway, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. Some other players to look at just real quick as we talk about the post Olympic layout. Team USA. Players that we're looking at to see if they got better or not, as we'll see during the season. Biggest ones: Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid. Two guys who were sort of polar opposites. Anthony Edwards, very active, involved in just about every game for the United States. Didn't score a whole lot except for a couple of those qualifying matches and once somewhere in between the quarterfinal match. Definitely important. He improved his game after the FIBA tournament from 2023. I think that he's going to improve that much more when it comes to him performing this season, thanks to his experience over in the Olympics. But the one iffy factor is Joel Embiid. He started out slow. He ended slow. Is he going to be healthy and ready enough this season for Philly to actually have a complete season out of him? I say no.
That's another one that's always injured or constantly hurting. I mean, when you're almost 7 feet tall, okay, your body just starts to deteriorate quicker than someone that's 6'3". You know what I mean? Like you have a lot more legs that you have to worry about, and your knees can only handle someone. I mean, how big is he? Like 250, Embiid?
Whew, you know what? That's a good question. Let's see. Joel Embiid is currently listed at. Let's get my good old basketballreference.com. Joel is listed at. Move your tail, son. More bio. For some reason, I always thought that Joel Embiid was left-handed.
No, he's right-handed.
He is right-handed.
They don't give you his weight?
280.
Okay, so 280 at what, 6'11", 7 feet?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So think about it. When you're 6'3", 280, you know what I mean? Your legs can only handle so much. So imagine being 7 feet tall, 280.
And carrying all that weight.
and carrying all that weight, and you just had knee surgery also.
Yep.
So
Yep.
does your knee deteriorate faster? Of course. Is it going to take a toll? I
Yep.
don't know about, next season taking it a toll, but within the next couple of seasons, it's going to start taking it a toll. I know he's young. I know he's still got some fight in him.
Yep.
Me personally, like I said, I don't like Embiid for, bias reasons.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
but, you know, is he still a good basketball player? Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
eventually that knee is going to take a toll with the
Yep.
weight that he is, and the height that he is,
Yep.
you know. So, after just having that surgery, within 2, 3 years, he's going to start playing that, slower role, coming in, playing 20 minutes a game, just feeding off that energy and just helping the team trying to win a championship.
We'll see how the Sixers balance out his recovery and ramp up, considering that him coming off that Olympic play, of course, riding on the plane back home, United States, and all that, and the gap in between comes into effect, and see how ready he is. I think that they're probably going to slowly reintroduce him into the season, just allow him to keep getting reps, but lower his playing time to start out. But we got to check in Philly's camp to figure that part out.
Listen, the best part of the Olympics, okay, sorry to cut you off, but the best part of the Olympics, besides USA winning the gold,
yeah,
was the French booing Embiid. That was the best part.
Yeah,
that was the best part. Okay,
I don't think the French understand this man plays in Philadelphia. He's like, oh, why didn't y'all do this for me several games ago? I would have been ready to go.
And going back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago when I was on your show, he has 3 citizenships. By the way.
Yep.
So I don't know. I confirmed that. I looked it up just to check, and I wanted to make sure. But he has 3 citizenships.
Yes, he does.
South Sudan, French, or France, and USA.
And
USA. He chose to play for USA because he wanted a gold medal.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, listen, French did a phenomenal job getting to the gold medal match.
Yes.
And they fought hard. I'm not taking anything away from them by all means. But look who you have on the France team versus the USA team.
True.
One last ride with LeBron and KD and Steph. I don't think they play, obviously, in the next, Olympics in 4 years in the United States. So why not take that last ride and ride with, the 3 vets, the 3 people that have carried the league for the last 8, 9 years, 10 years.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
And this actually especially with the other NBA players who I'm going to address here in a second, but you kind of want to be in that locker room and in that camp when you have this gap in between the Olympics and the NBA season, because you have the ability to pick the minds of guys who are essentially the face and are running the league right now. So, I mean, there's a little bit of gamesmanship there too, as far as Joel Embiid is concerned. He's finally, I mean, it's a little bit more open. He's not as good at hiding it, but he's getting it as far as being able to manipulate how things are going. So what one of the other players that some of the other players I wanted to quickly address, SGA. Canada didn't do so well as far as their finish in the Olympics, but SGA definitely was a consistent factor in trying to get Canada to that gold medal match, which they failed to do so. But here we are. Nick Batum, Victor Wembanyama, and I keep getting this last name wrong. Intokina. He used to play for the Knicks like a while ago. Frank Intokina. There we go. So those 3 guys are guys that I'm looking to see if they are going to show some improvement. I mean, you got the quote from Victor. He said that everybody should be wary of him. I like the energy. I like the fire. We saw, of course, in the semifinal match versus Serbia, the Joker, Bogdanovic, both of those guys, all those guys gave us a lot of awesome moments, a lot of awesome offensive firepower. If you could throw one name out there of a player to watch out for that's coming off of their Olympic run, who would it be?
Anthony Edwards.
I agree.
And I'm going to tell you why. Anthony Edwards got the role he got in the Olympics because in 4 years, when the Olympics comes to the United States, he's going to be the face of that team.
Absolutely.
And by that time
no
comes,
doubt.
Tatum is going to be, one of your older heads.
Yep.
If Jaylen Brown decides to play, he's going to be one of your older heads.
True.
So Anthony Edwards is going to be the face of that team, and he's going to prove to everyone these next 3-4 years before the Olympics starts that, hey, I'm the next generation coming up. I'm going to be the one taking over that Olympics team, and we're going to win a gold medal for the United States. Wow, I'm the lead guy on that team.
It's going to be interesting because you have also members of the select team who were essentially selected for that purpose. So we're going to see this huge movement of guys that on the top end who are going to be out. And you're going to see the next pouring of players coming in. And you're right. He's definitely going to be the head of that. It's going to be a question of how's that growth going to happen going to the next Olympics, which is LA, and that's going to be huge because if the host country at least being part of the finals is super important to show at least the growth, but it's a lot of pressure because he's going to be heading a squad that's going to need to win gold in LA in 2028. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, we talked about it last time, though, man. The competition, around the world is getting stronger and stronger, and better. You know what I mean? But the United States just has so much young talent in the league that and if you don't know how to stop it, it's going to be hard to play against it. You know what I'm saying?
It's at 100% agree. In fact, I would say that, as far as Olympians are concerned, they train in specific areas for the purpose of winning gold. And the United States, as far as basketball is concerned, is the top place to train. So the world's getting smarter in sending their players to our colleges, to our facilities. They start out locally, but they get U.S. talent to come help them out locally. Then they get sent down the pipeline to come play here. Yeah, they represent their country internationally, as you've seen with a lot of players, a lot of Olympians. But a lot of this talent, some of them Olympians from other countries actually live in my backyard. So
I'm saying though, look at the Olympics and how the bracket round played out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those games were closer than a lot of people thought. You know what I'm saying? Teams winning by 1 or 2 points, 4 points, those are close games. Those are not blowouts. You know what I mean? Even winning by 8, 9 points, that's still a good, close game. You know what I'm saying? If you're not talking 15 points or more, that's when you can start consider, a blowout. But, 8, 9, 10 points, those are still close games. I mean, those 10 minutes. I mean, look what wasn't it Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in 9 seconds back in the day?
Absolutely insane run.
You know
love that piece of history when he played on the Houston Rockets. I saw that game live.
So that's what I'm saying. So 13 points in 9 seconds, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. So these teams that are winning by 8, 9 points, that's not a big margin to win by, and the competition is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger in the years to come, and these players are going to start, realizing, hey, it's not about just shooting. It's not about just team ball. It's about, making moves, making plays, scoring the ball, and they're going to work harder and harder. And come 2024, I would love for USA to win a gold. 2028, I would love for USA to win a gold, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to win that gold. They're not going to have these veterans on that team anymore.
And speaking of gold medals and the fallout from the Olympics, we got a small topic that we're going to hit here in the next 5 minutes before we take a quick break. The WNBA and their fallout. They went for their 90 millionth gold in a row. I just threw this out there. My wife and I were talking about. I brought up Diana Taurasi. It was her 6th gold medal She's been to 6 Olympics. She's been in the Olympics since she graduated from college. So just to put that things into perspective, but the WNBA, again, we're talking about the fall of that and its full effect. Some of the players that were part of that team, women's team USA team, their teams. Just going down the list real quick right now. If you are in the dub, the links are still hot. Okay, Nafisa Collier is still hot, still killing it. They're the best team in the West. Watch out for them. Also want to jump on the New York Liberty. All right. Still killing it. They actually just had their first loss in 6 games yesterday. Okay. Which is phenomenal because this is a team that basically when they end their season, they go back to back for a week. They go every other day for a week straight. They play 10 games in a row, actually, is what the stat I heard. Their last 10 games is just on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, which is absolutely insane, even with the chartered flights. Okay, so they are running the league right now. It's looking like the New York Liberty are going to be champions this time around. But what's yet to be seen because, again, a team like the Connecticut Sun is sitting there and they're throwing out punches. Dejanay Carrington is saying, hey, y'all need to strap your seatbelts. Y'all need to make sure that y'all stay tuned because the dub is getting heated and it is looking like we might be crowning a new champion because outside of Connecticut Sun sitting there disrupting everybody, the Las Vegas Aces not doing so hot. Our MVP, our gold medal winner, our MVP, Asia Wilson, front runner for the MVP for this season. Absolutely phenomenal, putting up insane numbers, despite us just retiring Maya Moore's jersey and everything that she did in her 8 seasons with the Lynx. Asia Wilson, front runner for MVP, team not looking so hot. Absolute concern for them not being able to three-peat, which is big. It's like Jordan not doing the second three-peat right now. That's essentially what it's looking like for the Las Vegas Aces. It's that important to the league. You guys need to tune in. That's just a real quick breakdown of what's going on right now. But I suggest you guys absolutely tune into what's going on right now, especially for those of you guys that are running your prize picks or in your daily fantasy bets and seeing who you can bet on. I'm telling you, some of these teams right now, it's a little bit of a transition, a little bit wonky. We might see Minnesota versus New York in the finals. Not too sure. We're going to take a quick break here. It's just going to be completely dead silence because we don't have licensing right now for music. So we'll be right back with y'all in about 2 minutes. All right, and we are back. Y'all, we are back. What the heck is this schedule? We're at the meat of the show, y'all. And this is gonna take as long as it takes. We're actually gonna start doing some production, okay? We're gonna start sharing some screens. Gonna let y'all know what's up. Gonna show you the info. We're gonna break it down here. This part of the show, we're talking about the NBA schedule release. And before we get into any freaking records, what I got wrong, what we might have right, who's tripping, the NBA might be either onto something or smoking some rocks. I don't know, one of the two things. Because as you go through the schedule of the season, here's what you're going to find. Marquee matchups, absolutely crazy marquee matchups. We're going to actually have a separate post a little bit after this, just breaking all this down on the sportsaffiliation.com, so you guys tune in. We got some revenge games coming up, which are going to be super important. A lot of players out there want they get back. I'm not kidding, man. I mean, between New York, Philly, LA got a couple of them in there. Y'all, there's some get back games. It's a whole movie. But most importantly, the NBA set up these back-to-backs. There's specific back-to-backs with teams where they play the same team in the same city within 3 days. So they'll play, say, like a Monday, say it was like Lakers in New Orleans. Wednesday that same week, they're still there playing that game again. I've never seen that before. And I don't know if the league's trying to save some M's, that they consider player safety, or I just think it's going to improve the competition, but it's wild. So we're going to get through the breakdown real quick. First thing I want to do is, let me go ahead and share this with y'all. Boom. Is this what I want to share? Nah. Let's do this one. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Right here, okay? Top 5. This is what we got. Boston, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, and Dallas to round out the top 5. Your boys, right here, 53-29. 53-29. Hot take. Hit me. What you think, man? That top 5 and where you guys stand at.
All right. I'm gonna make this quick because I might have to go back to work here in the next couple minutes.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, man, losing Isaiah might have hurt us in the deep with the center, but I honestly think, the Knicks make a deep playoff run this year, man. Adding Mikal Bridges is huge. Yep. Adding McCabe is huge, and they got a lot to prove this year. They do. They're going to show the world that, if they were healthy last year, and by all means, injuries come with the game. You can't discredit injuries. There's no, teams, you can say teams should have won 4 finals in a row, if it wasn't for injuries. You know what I mean?
Fact.
But
Fact.
Let's be honest here, injuries are definitely a part of the game. And, I honestly think that with adding Mikal Bridges and re-signing OG, I honestly think, the Knicks have, and it might sound biased, but I don't think it is. But I think they have the best 2 wingmen in the game right now with Mikal Bridges and OG. And then you throw in Julius Randle that can literally shoot from anywhere or play the post game or the bully game, depending on how you want to look at it. So I think the Knicks are going to be a top 5 team this year, man. I really do think so. And I think they're definitely going to give Boston a run for the money in the East to win that division.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's looking like in order to get top 5 right now, top 5 cuts off at about 55 wins, which is and New York at 53 is too short of where I had them, but that's 3 more wins, guys. That's 3 more wins than what the Knicks had last season. The Knicks were the number 2 seed at 50, and doing the math real quick, 50 and 32.
And you have them at what?
So this year we have them at 53 and 29. 3 more wins than last season. But don't forget, Boston went on that insane run and had 64 wins last season.
Well, Boston locked up the number 1 seed like with a month and a half left to
Right.
go in the regular season. And I
I
don't
think
think they do that again this year.
I completely agree. I think that those wins, there are some wins in there, not just against Boston, but against other teams that are there to take. But I don't where I have them at right now. Again, this is just projection. This is just
Yeah, of
prediction.
course.
This is early on. So we don't know what's going to happen. All this information, again, is going to be later shown and shared through the sportsaffiliation.com. So you guys make sure that you tune in there. You listen up and you listen in. But as far as what we're looking at so far, New York definitely has the potential to crack that top 10. It's just a question of whether or not they're going to be able. It's just letting it play out, and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Again, there's going to be some marquee matchups. We actually have notes on some matchups that are coming up. But before we get too deep into that, again, I just want to run this down. Again, we had the top 5: Boston, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Phoenix at 57 wins, which is a significant improvement from last year, and Dallas. Right behind Dallas is Philadelphia at 54 wins, New York at 53. Tied with them, the Denver Nuggets at 53 wins, which is let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow that's the 5th best record in the West, which is absolutely insane to think about. The fact that the West is still stacked, it's still top heavy, and it's hard to crack that top 4. I just
Stop with that West is heavy, man. Stop with that West is heavy, man. Stop, man.
it
You
is.
have listen.
It is.
Let me explain something to you. You know, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love TSA, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But let me explain something to you, man. All right. There's only 4 teams in the West that you consider that are top heavy.
Go ahead.
Okay. You got the Nuggets.
Yep.
You got Dallas.
Yeah.
You got Minnesota.
Yeah.
You got OKC.
Which is fair.
Okay.
All,
On the East, okay, you got Boston.
facts.
You got Philly.
Facts.
You got the Knicks.
Facts.
And you got the Pacers.
Ha. That
You
okay.
can throw Milwaukee in there. You can throw Milwaukee in there, but I think the Pacers are all better around team than Milwaukee.
Which you would think so. Okay, it's funny that you mentioned the Pacers. We have the Pacers buried beneath New Orleans at 43 wins, and I only did that because
because you're sick.
a little bit,
Okay?
a little bit touch of the head. But there are several teams which I think have tried to get healthier and improve their squad in order to mix things up. So Cleveland is one team that I think is going to end up mixing it up and causing problems for Indiana. Miami tends to steal games. They tend to win games and make themselves look like a championship caliber team over championship caliber teams, and then just go flat the rest of the season. But they steal games. Those 2 teams at least. And then let's not forget, Orlando had one of the best defenses in the East. One of the best. Okay, for a team that was barely a 5th seed in the East last season, was actually showing guys that they can actually do this. Shout out to Jamal Mosley, head coach for the Magic. I think that's another team that's going to try to improve because they need to improve their scoring, and I think they're going to do it against a team like Indiana, who tends to drop games. That's the only reason why I think Indiana is not top 4.
Stop. Listen. That Orlando and Cleveland series, when they played, it went to what? 6 games? 7 games?
7. 6.
Okay,
That went to 6.
Any other team those 2 teams played would have mollywopped them 4-1.
Which is true. I agree.
So you don't put Orlando in the conversation, please.
But I have to, because they're young enough to improve in the places that they should be improving
But they didn't
on.
add anyone though. They didn't really add anyone that is capable of to put them over that hump. Are you telling me Orlando is a better team than the top 4 teams I named?
No, not better. Not better than the top 4 teams.
Or they could compete. Okay, can they compete with the top 4 teams in a 7-game series?
That 4th team that you named, Indiana, I think that is the only team. I think that it's not like, it's big 3. and then just big me. I don't think it's like that. I think it's I think what happens
Love
is
the Kendrick, man.
Indiana has a tendency, especially with the schedule and the way that it's laid out, Indiana has a higher chance of dropping key games against Eastern Conference teams like Cleveland and like Orlando, which knocks them out of the top four. I'm just saying this record-wise. I'm not saying that performance-wise, how they look on paper, coaching top four, top three even. That they got a great coach in Carlisle. But what I'm saying is that as far as the record is concerned, when the regular season ends, Indiana is statistically not going to look like a top 4 team. I just want to make that very clear. I see where you're coming from, and I say performance-wise, absolutely agree with you. Again, they got Tyrese Halliburton, which is another name that I didn't get to mention as far as the Olympics and all the fallout is concerned, because he didn't play. So I'm wondering what he got from that experience at all. Okay, but he's another player who did FIBA and Olympics. I think that he might have gotten a little something, but it's not going to be enough to get this Indiana team into the upper echelon. They're just going to be fighting for it. There's only so many wins to be passed around in this conference, and these guys are going to be biting off nibbles off of what's left over from Philly, from Boston, and from you guys in New York. I think that everyone else is just going to be fighting for scraps. And the biggest dog out of the three that I mentioned, I think is Cleveland. Because Cleveland's biggest problem was health. If they come back healthy, that's a wrap. That's the games that Indiana was eating up. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see again.
Listen. All right, I'm gonna make my West prediction and my East prediction.
Go ahead.
And then I'm gonna ride out.
Okay? All right, I got you.
The West, I got OKC versus Dallas in the finals, or the Western Conference Finals. Okay.
Okay.
And then on the East, you already know my Knicks are gonna be there. Okay.
Who y'all playing?
I guess Boston.
Okay. That's. See, I thought you was gonna say something wild like New York versus Cleveland or Indiana.
No,
but I like.
Wait, I'm not done yet. You ready
Go
for the
ahead.
finals? You ready for the finals?
All right.
Dallas versus Knicks goes to 7.
Dallas versus it would be a barn burner. It would be interesting because Dallas is of course retooled, got the Klay Thompson thing. It would be most interesting because this would be the first Tibbs-led team that's gone to an NBA Finals. It's just a question of who's going to be left because you guys play tough.
Nova Knicks, baby.
You guys play long games.
I think I honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Tibbs as a coach. But here's my thing with Tibbs. And I think personally with Tibbs, what he learned from last year is to pull his guys out of games that are meaningless. And I'm not saying that any game throughout the season is meaningless, but when you're up 20 points with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, rest your guys.
Yep.
Let your starting lineup sit. There's no reason to have your starters out there the rest of that 8 minutes.
True.
Now, unless you go down, unless you get close and it's down, you're only up by 5 with 2 minutes left, then you can put your starters back in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're up 20, 25 points with 8 minutes left, get them rest. You seen what happened with OG in the playoffs? He had a hammy. Why did he have a hammy? Because he was constantly playing 43 minutes, a game.
And that weird.
I mean, how many games did the Knicks go into overtime during the regular season that their starters had to play those games because you didn't have the bench, you didn't have the depth because there was injuries that started back in March, with Julius Randle. I mean, when the Knicks had that full squad, that full lineup, they went 18-1 with a full team. The best record in that stretch. 18-1. Just put that in the back of your mind when you see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's all.
We will. Appreciate your hot take coming on.
I'll see you guys later.
Address some comments. We don't get you on another show here next week. I promise you, sir. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, let me know. I'm always down.
Holla, sir. Peace.
I appreciate y'all.
Yo, what's up, Iggy? Oh, saying what's up and just checking out the comment section real quick. Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network says my Pelicans are going to shock people this season. Let's hope so. You guys got that DeJounte Murray pick up. I got y'all mixing it up in the West. It's tough to get some wins out here. It's tough for that cohesion. Got questions about Ingram's contract this year. Says with Murray, McCollum, Ingram, and Zion healthy. I love that you capitalize healthy because healthy is the key word for Zion. And with Zion healthy, and I've seen the pictures, people talking about Ozempic and all this other stuff. We'll get to that in a bit. It's going to be the difference in between them actually dusting it up or being back in the position that they were from last season. We have to be in the conversation at least. Yes, you guys are in the conversation again. Let me just go ahead and share this one more time with y'all, so that way, just a quick reminder. So again, so we got at the top Boston, got at the bottom Charlotte, who hasn't really done much and was unhealthy last season. So I just don't see them returning into form and actually getting worse this year. But so just round this out, we got Boston, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, Dallas. Next five: Philly, New York, Denver, Milwaukee, and for some reason, this thing that I broke down has the Lakers as the 11th best team in the entire NBA. 2 games better than Los Angeles Clippers. Again, this is just prediction. At some point, they were 2 games better than Nuggets. It didn't make much sense to me. It made sense later on towards the end of the season. I think that the thing turns on its head, but we'll see. And this is me being a Lakers fan. Clippers, of course, in that Intuit arena, which apparently is absolutely amazing and super smart and whatnot. 49 wins. Then behind them, Cleveland, Miami mixing it up, somehow getting 45 wins out of this season. I don't know how, but New Orleans right there in the mix, 45. So there you go. Hot take, yeah, I appreciate you having on. New Orleans right there in the mix. 15th best, right just before the middle cuts off, because right behind them is Indiana, but 45 wins, 45 and 37 for New Orleans. And then rounding out the bottom 5, just going to go here real quick, is Utah, Washington, who's got a bunch of big contracts but not really doing much. Detroit, who's returning some players, some now second-year players who look to probably make a bigger dent in the NBA and some impact, but are probably looking to improve overall. Toronto, which literally got picked apart and got a bunch of rookies. I just don't see them having the veteran leadership in order to do any more than getting 11 games. The East is just going to pick these teams apart, and then Charlotte to round that out. So that's what we're looking at here as far as the season is concerned here. If you guys have any concerns, you have any questions, again, we're going to have the post of the season and this prediction sheet out on the sportsaffiliation.com later on today. We're actually going to be breaking down each of your team's respective divisions. So if you have a TLDR moment, if you just don't want to go looking for your team, or you have specific questions, you see how we address your team, you're going to go to the sportsaffiliation.com. You're going to look up your division. It's going to have your division winner. It's going to have your listed teams. It's going to have the record. It's going to have the breakdown, all that good stuff. It's going to be coming up later on today. Okay. What else do we have to talk about today? Oh my gosh. All right. So this schedule released, again, we went through the records. I don't know. A lot of these records I got some unders for. So like, for example, the Lakers, I have it at 51 and 31. I got the under on that. Okay. I don't think the Lakers are a 50-win team. They have done nothing to improve. They just changed the coach. They're waiting for guys to get healthy again. A lot of these health issues have to do with like back and lower back injuries. I don't think that you recover as well in hoops as you do in other sports in order to be able to bounce back and be usable. So, and the Lakers were hitting and missing in free agency. I don't think that they're a 50-win team. So I got the under on this, but also it's going to be necessary for them to have 51 in order to get 6th. Okay. Because you have Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, Dallas, Denver. That's 5 seeds already. So you need 51 wins in order to get that 6th seed to stay out of the play-in tournament, which is crazy because the Clippers are right behind them with 2 games. After them goes New Orleans at the 8th seed. So you're talking about getting in the mix and trying to stay out of that play in, because the Lakers perpetually play out of that. They've done it the last 2 seasons. This actually blows my mind. And that's high stack, but I still got the under on that. Let's see here. Games to watch. Okay. We have a full breakdown, which is also coming up on the sportsaffiliation.com, about the games that we really want you guys to watch, games that we're excited about. Next time when we have Iggy and SoCal on, we're going to talk about some Lakers Denver matchups, which are some games to watch. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me just go ahead and pull up a couple of these games for the season. Okay, so some games that we're talking about, looking forward to. Week 2, Cleveland versus New York. Just trying to figure out which team is more complete and ready to dethrone Boston. Indiana versus Dallas is going to be an interesting one, because that's around the time that I expect Klay Thompson to come into full form. And we can't forget that Dallas lost Derek Jones Jr. to free agency, who's now on the Clippers. Will Dallas be able to say that they completely filled that void and improved at the position by adding Klay Thompson to their squad? I think it's going to take at least a little bit of time up until that time for Klay to come into form, and that's going to be a good game to find out if it's going to be the Klay Thompson game or not. Also, 76ers versus Lakers is a game that I circled myself because Team USA vibes. We just talked about the Olympics early on in the show. How is Joel Embiid going to play against AD? Because I believe that AD might have regressed a little bit. His play was not 100%. It was about as predicted, especially in that game against Serbia, as I thought it would be. And I think that Joel Embiid is going to try to prove that he's the better big for that game. He's just got to be healthy enough at that time. Let's see. March 2nd, circled that game. Denver versus Boston. I'm predicting a Denver win versus last year's NBA champions. Iggy, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you watch it, you go back, look at this later. Know that I picked your team to win as a part of Denver trying to start to crack that upper echelon in the West, and the records start out slow, ending up torching the league and being fully ready for playoffs. I think that Denver takes that game, so circle that game as well. We got a couple other games here. Suns versus Minnesota. Of course, we got Ant versus Durant. And whenever you got a guy that you're looking up to, and Anthony Edwards looking up to his idol, Kevin Durant, you always overperform. Guys talk about that all the time, being able to play on big stages like in Los Angeles and New York. We'll see how this transitions, because KD was absolutely on fire coming back from his injury and being able to essentially mostly carry Team USA throughout the Olympics. And of course, we all remember that first game where he got back and we went 8 for 9, absolutely obliterating teams. So we'll see how that works out. And then week 5 got Denver versus LA, another notch in the chapter, so on and so forth. Clips versus Dallas week 9 is a game that we're going to see. We're going to see how the teams match up, because the Clippers are now without Paul George, and Dallas lost Derek Jones Jr. to the Clippers. So we'll see how both teams respond at that point in the season. That's before the halfway point. And then again, Boston versus Dallas week 14, NBA Finals rematch. Definitely some TV, some great TV that we're going to be locked into. JC, what up, sir? Absolutely. Yes. And while I'm going back and forth between the screens, appreciate it, JC, for the reminder. Don't forget, this is part of the Sports Affiliation Network, where we absolutely love you guys for being part of us, but we need you to tune in. You need to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please share this with your friends. We don't do this for nothing. We want to make sure that you guys succeed in whatever it is you're doing out there, whether it's fantasy, whether it's day-to-day talk, water cooler talk. We want to make sure that you are tooled and fully prepared, but we cannot do that without you guys tuning in. You can't do, and we can't be here without you hitting that like button. You can't tune in or know when we're going without hitting that subscribe button. And you can't keep this going further without anything else. You guys run this engine, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow us on our appropriate channels. X, go to the Sports Affiliation website, subscribe there, put your email, sign up for newsletters, because we got some great and new, fresh things coming out. Okay, we're in the last 4 minutes here, so we're going to run the gauntlet. Okay, so for the rest of this show, we already got our predictions out. Everything's going to be released on the sportsaffiliation.com. We are going to be running bet contests. You guys need to tune in to the TSA website, the sportsaffiliation.com. We're going to give a full layout on how the contest is going to work. It's going to kick off. Signups are going to happen 2 weeks before the season kicks off. Okay, so you guys need to mark your calendars. Basically, what we're doing is we're running a contest a lot like the one that we did last year. What we did, we gave away some money. That's all it was. That's all we had available. We had money. Okay, not talking hats, not talking t-shirts, not talking free entries and nothing like that, which those might be part of the contest later on. But we got the betting, we got a betting contest coming up, and we're just going to be start giving away some cash, okay? Because I know you guys love to play your fantasy, you love your bets out there. You guys would be able to put that in your respective apps. Venmo, Cash App, whatever, we will get it to you. Got the screenshots to prove what we just did during the Olympics, and it works, man. You guys got heavily involved in the betting contest. They were tight contests. We got prediction stuff going out there. We're going to give a full breakdown of that on thesportsaffiliation.com, and that information will be coming out in about 2-3 weeks time. We'll be posting it, and then we'll be taking live signups for it a week after. So keep an eye out for that. What else do we got going on? We got the daily free bets on our Discord, so please do not forget to subscribe to our Discord. We got information coming out there, out the woodwork. I'm going to be throwing up a lot of stuff. You got guys like SoCal and Iggy who are going to be throwing up the daily free bets, because we're going to be rolling out of MLB. We're going to be rolling into NFL and NBA. It's going to be the thick of the season. You guys want to start making some cash. You guys want to make sure to roll those bets. I'm telling you, subscribe to our Discord. Is absolutely imperative that you do that there. And last but not least, we got a fantasy league going, which we will probably improve and expand, just depending on how much interest we garner for this. It was a very crazy and a very interesting best ball fantasy league last season. So we will be giving you, we want you guys to stay tuned for that. And I think that is it as far as the money and bets are concerned. And I'm just going to take the last couple of minutes to go through the comments, see who's here. Let's see here. Hot Take already said Knicks win the finals. He gave that take on that earlier. So awesome. Bobby said, yeah, let's go smash the like button. So yeah, don't forget, guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button. And we got appreciation and love out from everyone. So I think that's it. So again, just to recap, WNBA in full effect. You guys, the playoffs are shaping up right now. It's best to get your bets in right now. Conversation right now is about the rookie of the year. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese conversation is getting back up there again. Fastest to whatever mark is going on. Maya Moore jersey just got retired last night with all the great things that she did. She was a walking Kyrie at one point in the dub. Everything's shaping up to be New York versus Minnesota. Make sure to tune in here if you're looking in for daily bets or anything like that. And then this NBA schedule just got released, which is absolutely fuego. We'll give you all our reasons why a little bit later today. Going to go to thesportsaffiliation.com to check out our post there. Going to give you all the information, all the daily bets. I got to run out of here because I got to go see a woman about seeing my daughter. I'll explain that later at a different time, different place. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your boy, JR. We are out of here, y'all. I will see y'all next week. Holla!